متكئين عليها متقابلين, reclining there on it face to face. طيب يا إخواني والأخوات, question, what do you benefit from this verse? متكئين عليها متقابلين, reclining face to face. Every verse of Allah, إخواني والأخوات, has a benefit. Every verse. Don't just read the Quran and rush through it. Every verse has a benefit. What benefit do you derive from this? متكئين عليها متقابلين. What's the significance of Allah mentioning this? They are pleased with the company they are in. Ahsant, very good. Naam. What else? They will be close to their righteous friends of dunya. Ahsant. Naam. What else? Ahsant, mashallah. Maybe that facing each other is different to turning backs. Naam. Showing the virtue of facing one another. Naam, ahsant, mubarak. That's a very good point. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also mentioned وَنَزَعْنَا مَا فِي صُدُورِهِم مِّن غِلٍّ إِخْوَانًا عَلَى سُرُرٍ مُتَقَابِلِينَ. He mentioned another part of the Quran, Surah Al-Hijr, that we will remove whatever bitterness they had in their chests and their hearts, and they will be brothers on thrones facing one another. Meaning that from the means of developing and strengthening one's brotherhood and sisterhood is to face one another, directly face one another. This is why the Prophet ﷺ, whenever he spoke to someone, he gave them his full attention and he would turn his whole entire body towards them. Now, this is a means of communicating and developing brotherhood with the listener. But if you're speaking to somebody and that person is, focused somewhere else or looking somewhere else or not giving you attention or may even turn their back to you, then without a doubt that negates brotherhood. It negates love for one another. And the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he even prohibited us from turning our backs to one another. لا تحاسدوا ولا تناجسوا ولا تباغضوا ولا تدابروا ولا تدابروا. And do not turn your backs on each other. Not only does it take the meaning of betraying each other, but it also includes the meaning of physically turning your back to one another. If a person is speaking to you, you don't just turn your back to them. That's not from the actions of brotherhood. And that's why the Prophet of Allah said, "Kunu ibadallahi ikhwana." Be servants of Allah as brothers. Be brothers to one another. Be brothers to one another. طيب? Naam. So that's a very good point. The sister mentions, Jazakallah khairah, we should not turn our backs to one another, but rather in Jannah we'll be facing each other face to face. SubhanAllah. So this shows that it is from brotherhood to face one another.